Have you ever wondered what happens when a city becomes so consumed by wickedness that it reaches a point of no return? The ancient story of Sodom and Gomorrah from the book of Genesis gives us a dramatic and sobering look at this very scenario. It's a tale of divine judgment, but also one of mercy and a desperate escape. Lot, recognizing their divine nature or simply practicing ancient hospitality, insisted they stay safely in his home rather than spend the night in the open square. Before they could even lie down to rest, the situation escalated dramatically. The men of Sodom, from the youngest to the oldest, surrounded Lot's house. Their intentions were sinister and violent. They demanded that Lot bring out his guests so they could assault them. The wickedness of the city was on full display, a complete disregard for hospitality, humanity, and divine law. Lot, in a desperate and misguided attempt to protect his guests, went outside and pleaded with the mob. He even made a shocking offer to give them his own two virgin daughters instead. This highlights just how depraved the city had become and the extreme pressure Lot was under. But the crowd wasn't interested. They grew even more hostile, accusing Lot, an immigrant himself, of trying to judge them. They threatened to do worse to him than to his guests and surged forward to break down the door. At that critical moment, the two angels intervened. They pulled Lot back inside the house and struck the mob outside with a blinding light, causing mass confusion and chaos. The men scrambled, unable to find the doorway, their evil intentions thwarted by a divine power they couldn't comprehend. With the immediate danger averted, the angels revealed their true purpose to Lot. They told him, "We are about to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it." They urged Lot to gather his family, his wife, his sons-in-law, anyone who belonged to him, and flee the city immediately. Lot rushed to warn his sons-in-law, who were engaged to his daughters. He pleaded with them, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But they just laughed. They thought he was joking. They couldn't fathom that their world was about to end. Their disbelief sealed their fate. As dawn broke, the angels grew more urgent. They grabbed Lot, his wife, and his two daughters by the hand, essentially dragging them out of the city. The Lord was showing them mercy, but time was running out. Once outside the city limits, one of the angels commanded them, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away." Lot, however, was afraid. He pleaded for a concession, asking to flee to a small nearby town instead of the mountains, fearing he couldn't make it that far. The angel granted his request, allowing him to go to the town of Zoar, but the warning remained absolute: flee there quickly. But don't look back. As the sun rose, Lot and his daughters safely reached Zoar. Then the judgment began. The Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the heavens. Fire and brimstone consumed the cities, the entire plain, and everything living in it. It was a complete and utter annihilation. But in this moment of escape, a tragedy occurred. Lot's wife, for reasons we can only guess, perhaps longing for her home, her friends, or the life she was leaving behind, disobeyed the one command she was given. She looked back, and as she did, she was turned into a pillar of salt, a permanent monument to the danger of looking back to a life of sin when offered a path to salvation. Early the next morning, Abraham, who had pleaded with God to spare the city if even 10 righteous people could be found, went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked out towards Sodom and Gomorrah and saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. God had remembered Abraham and had brought his nephew Lot out of the catastrophe. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is a powerful and unsettling one. It serves as a stark warning about the consequences of unchecked wickedness and a reminder of God's justice.